I always felt like Kevin Durant's career in the NBA is just a little bit depressing, and I'm not one of those guys who's upset about him leaving the OKC Thunder and going to Golden State to win a championship or whatever it is, but I think when we look at the teams that he has played for in his career, it's kind of known that he doesn't have a home team. Like I mentioned before, he has a lot of beef with the OKC Thunder and their whole situation, you know, cupcake, all that stuff. I don't have to go through it. The Golden State Warriors, I would say, is probably the closest he has to a home because he did win championships there and he was the finals MVP, but he was only there for a little bit, and it's not like the Warriors like him more than they do Curry or Draymond or Klay Thompson. Then he goes to Brooklyn, and that's like his moment where it's like, okay, I'm gonna do this myself. I'm going to build my own, team with a championship in Brooklyn of all places. And he ends up making another super team over there, which didn't work out because of injuries, and they're never on the court together. So then he leaves again and goes to Phoenix to hang out with his best friend Devin Booker, and that's where we are today, right? And I feel like maybe you guys don't agree with me, but I don't know, but he doesn't really have that home team like I mentioned earlier. And I'm not trying to say that he was going to have a home team in Phoenix, but the news has come out and we've kind of known for some time now the Phoenix Suns are done with him. They are going to be trading him during this offseason. Brian Windhorst said it best. I'm going to let you guys just watch the clip directly from ESPN.
Yeah, well, they're going to trade him, and he knows that. And then in the offseason, he sort of gave himself a little ad there. He's like, whatever team gets me, I'm going to make a difference. I'm still in my prime. So
now the reason why I say that we kind of saw this coming is because, during the trade deadline, there were talks about how Kevin Durant was going to be moved. It was actually supposed to be the Kevin Durant deadline again because we had his whole situation going to Phoenix, and now it was going to be like, okay, is Kevin Durant going to go to the Warriors? Is he going to go to the Mavericks? What team is buying in on the KD sweepstakes? And no move happened. Nothing happened. The Phoenix Suns decided to stay put, which you can argue on whether or not that was a good move. I mean, they suck ass this year, and that's kind of where we are right now, where it looks like the Phoenix Suns acknowledge that this just isn't going to work. Why try to make it work and instead just move on from a guy who is aging like Kevin Durant? So we are here today to talk about what teams would be a good fit for Kevin Durant, where should he go next in his career, and also maybe a little bit on why the Phoenix Suns are doing this and just the mistakes that they made along the way. And I want to make it very clear when it comes to the cap room, the aprons, matching salaries and trades, y'all, I got no clue when I throw these teams out, okay? I'm just saying it might work, it might not work. I'll let you guys do all the trade bullshit down in the comments below. But the first one that I want to address is a team that he might be going to that I don't think many people really expect him to go to anymore is the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors were already interested in KD. We know that when going over the trade deadline, and the word that came out from KD himself was, I don't want to go back to Golden State. And a lot of people took this as him saying, I don't want to go relive that again. I don't want to relive the fans saying, oh, there he goes back to ring chase, or just everything that's associated with him being in Golden State. It's understandable that he wouldn't want to go back to a team like that. He wants to go somewhere else, more fresh, more new, or just a different team. But turns out, and not many people, I don't think, saw him say this, he just didn't want to go back to Golden State because he didn't want to get traded in the middle of the season. It has nothing to do with Golden State or the feelings that they have towards him or how, he was when he was there. None of that matters at all. Literally all of that drama was him just not wanting to deal with a mid-season trade, and I think that's why also we're kind of seeing the confirmation that he will be moved during the offseason. So yeah, I see the Golden State Warriors being a possible place for him. You know why though? Because he fits the timeline kind of perfectly. I have made countless videos talking about the Golden State Warriors, what they have to do next. Should they buy in on the Curry timeline, or should they sell and go in for young talent? And now that they made their move to get Jimmy Butler and they're paying him $60 million a year, I say why not go and get someone like Kevin Durant, an older player who is also still insanely good. It's not like he's washed at all. Go get that older guy. Go spend the rest of Curry's years with other veterans who have won before, not to mention, obviously KD and Curry have their relationship. I feel like it would fit well. And Jimmy Butler, I want to make an entire video about him on the Warriors because I am a huge doubter on that move. But things are working well over there right now, so I would say Golden State is one of the biggest places I would like for him to go. You get to see KD and Steph not only reunite, and, you know, play together again, but also still be able to contend for a championship. Like, that will make them championship contenders. And not to mention, you have Jimmy Butler on the side who is trying to win that ring before he has to retire. I think it's an interesting storyline, fun basketball. Everything looks great on that point. I know I said that I would talk a little bit as well about why the Phoenix Suns are in this situation, and I'm gonna be so honest with you guys, it's Bradley Beal. If you watch my videos, you know that I do not like Bradley Beal, and it's nothing about him as a person or his play style or whatever. It's the contract. He is nowhere near as good as his contract suggests. It's one of the worst in the NBA, if not the worst in the NBA. So maybe I don't hate Bradley Beal, maybe I just hate the Washington Wizards. But in my personal opinion, and once again, I'm not a diehard Phoenix Suns fan, so maybe, you know, you guys have some better suggestions down below. I really do feel like them moving for Bradley Beal, a player who does not really make a difference, to be completely honest with you. He is not the superstar that he once was or that his contract says he is. That level of player and that type of contract does nothing but restrict you on what you can do. It makes it harder for you to build around guys like Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. So I didn't want to spend too much time talking about this because I've talked about it before, but Bradley Beal is the biggest reason as to why this team didn't work. But what team would work for Kevin Durant? Yo, I'm just gonna say it right now, the Dallas Mavericks would be probably my favorite team for him to go to. Not only because I would love to see the Dallas Mavericks win after trading Luka Doncic, like I think it would be the funniest thing ever, but also kind of the same thing with the Golden State Warriors thing. He fits the timeline perfectly. The Mavericks are an interesting team because they traded, obviously, their young guy, Luka Doncic, I don't have to get into it, and in exchange have now paired Kyrie Irving with a older, more injury-prone Anthony Davis. And so this team, to me, has the ability to win a championship. I think if we get more time of watching Anthony Davis and him playing with this team, and he's most likely going to have a fully healthy offseason with them, doesn't have to go through any procedures or anything like that, I think that this team can be deadly. I really do think that. But the problem is their window to be deadly is very small because Kyrie Irving is so old, because Anthony Davis, who knows how long he's going to be in his prime for. So I do look at this team and I say, yes, they can win a championship soon. And if they add Kevin Durant to that mix, are you fucking kidding me? So Dallas, I would absolutely love to see him on that team. Another team that I think would be a lot of fun, and I've seen very mixed emotions on whether or not it would be good for him to join, is the OKC Thunder. There's some obvious problems here, okay? And depending on whether or not you're an OKC Thunder fan watching this video, you might have your own feelings on the situation. Some people just really don't like how he did OKC, right? And I understand that. I'm trying to think about a player who would do that, like, for my team. I don't really have one because we were never championship contenders and had, like, a rival. But I do understand that kind of idea. Then there's the other side of people who's like, how poetic would it be if he just went back and played for the Thunder again? Not to mention, now that they're a good team, maybe win a championship there, even though it would still be SGA, like, as the main guy. If Kevin Durant could take a back seat, just be a scorer on the team and win a championship there, I think it would be cool. I think that would be fun. I do know that with that situation, though, there is some contract issues, and it'd be stuff like giving up Hartenstein, which you don't want to do, things like that. You know what, though? Now that I've really thought about it, I don't think he's going to join any of the teams I just mentioned in this video. I think that there's one team that's like insanely obvious that he's going to join, and that's the Seattle Supersonics as soon as they get their expansion franchise. Okay, obviously that's not gonna happen, but how fucking cool would that be? I hope he at least retires there. Like, go there for just 1 year. That being said, those are kind of my teams that I think would be the most fun for him to join. There's obviously other teams like the New York Knicks that a lot of people have been talking about, the Miami Heat. Everyone, of course, is always going to say the LA Lakers, but those three teams, the Mavericks, Thunder, and Golden State Warriors, in my opinion, are the most kind of realistic and also most fun or enjoyable moves. If you have a team that you want him to go to, or you just have any takes and opinions on Kevin Durant's career and entire, you know, just team situation, it feels like he's always in some sort of team trade or team drama, let me know everything down in the comments below. I read and respond to everyone. And hey, the off season is going to be crazy, so while you're down there, hit the like and subscribe button so when that time does come around, you can stay updated on everything going on and you can hear my very valuable opinion, okay? My opinion matters a lot. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.